Integrating a firewall directly into the backplane of a control system can be a huge benefit for any engineer. Let me show you how easy it can be. As you can see here, I have the S7-1500 controller, some MPIO, and I have a security CP where we'll integrate the firewall. Distributed I/O, E200 SP, a comfort panel, and all of which is on Profinet. I also have a switch over here, and you can see I actually have this connected directly to the CPU. Later, we'll actually connect to the CPU through this actual security CP. The first step in this project is you come over to the main CPU here, give focus to it, double click, go to the properties, navigate down to web server, and then there's a little activate web server, click on this box. There's a little security note that pops up, and basically we're willing to accept the risk. That's no problem. Click OK. However, I do want to add HTTPS. So click on that. The next thing I like to do is use the user management here and add an actual user so we have some kind of password protection. The name is going to be OP for operator, and I actually want to set these levels so expose all the different potential things we could do through the actual web server. I'm going to click on all of them and give myself administrative rights. Click OK. So now I have administrative rights as this operator, and I need to give a password. 123, and let's do it again. 123. Click Enter. Okay, so now I've set up the actual CPU. How about this actual CP? Let's give focus over here to the hardware catalog, and you'll find the communication modules. Navigate down to Profinet Ethernet, and then there's the CP itself. Let's give focus to it, and let's drag and drop it into the project. Now, let me double click on him, go to his properties. I'm going to set his Ethernet address to a different subnet. I'm going to make it 192.168.2.1. I also want to use the interface network and add a new subnet. Just click on it to automatically populate it to the PNIE_2. Now I want to scroll down, and the IPv6 protocol, I want to set it to use a different method. Click on that. Now I want to activate his web server, and at this point give focus to the main CPU and click on the download arrow button. He's going to go navigate out, try to find the IP address of the current control system. Once he has, in this pop-up box, now I can see him. I click on the load button. Now he's going to compile this completely, and once I get the complete configuration compiled, I can actually say stop all, click on load, click on finished, and now as you can see we have a fully functional system with the integrated CP. What I would like to do now is actually unplug the CPU and just make a direct connection to the CP instead. So here is the CPU connection, and here is the actual CP direct connection. Okay, so now we need to integrate this firewall. Let's come back to the project, double click on the actual CP itself, go down to security and properties. What it wants you to do is actually create a user login in the software. Click on the button. Let's add a name of admin, and the password has to be 8 characters, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have to repeat that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just click on enter. Now it's going to log us into the security for the software. All right, go back and give focus to the CP, go back down to security, and now there's a little box you have to check called activating security features. Check on that. It takes a few moments for it to update and bring in the potential firewall options. Now that it has, go down to firewall, click on the button activate firewall, and I want to check off the boxes allow S7 protocol, allow HTTPS, and allow security diagnostics. At this point, I want to go back and activate the advanced mode. There's a little pop-up box. We just say yes. So now I can actually see my rules, the 3 rules that I had, and I can see here's the S7 connections. What I would like to do is have a source IP address of the actual PC that I'm using. So that's 192.168.2.100. I want to do the same thing for the diagnostics as well, 192.168.2.100. All right, and I also want to add a new rule as well. So let's go back to the beginning, add new, double click on it, click on drop, and scroll over and go to logging. That way I can see any other IP address that's incorrect that's actually tried to access the actual S7 connection to the actual CPU. At this point, give focus to the actual CP, right click, go down to download to device, click on hardware configuration. He's going to go out and try to search and find this actual CP, his IP address. Once the dialog box pulls up, I need to change the connection from PNIE_1 to the PNIE_2, the different subnet. Let's change that. Now he's going to go out and search, and he will find this CP at this point. There it is. Click on Load. Now he's going to compile the configuration. Click Load again. Now he's actually going to load the configuration. You can see the CPU is in the stop mode. And once it's finished, click Finished. So now we have a fully integrated firewall directly in the backplane of this control system. How about actually proving how this works? What I'd like to do is come back to the PC here and change the IP address, go to Properties for this network card, and the correct IP address according to the rules for the firewall is 192.168.2.100. Let's change it to 105. Let's click OK, accept this. Now let's actually launch a browser, and let's try to navigate to the web server through the firewall. Let me choose the IP address of the CP. And as you can see, we do have direct access to this firewall for this web server. So how about the S7 connection directly from the software? Let's give focus to the CPU, click Go Online. It's going to go out and try to physically find the IP address through the firewall. And because we have the incorrect IP address, we are not reachable to the actual CPU. Let's go back and let's change it to the correct IP address for this PC. Let's go back to 100, click OK, go back to the software, give focus to the CPU, click Go Online. The way you'll know that is you get the orange bars across the top of the software and all the actual little check marks on the actual hardware cards themselves. Let's give focus to the CPU, go to Online Diagnostics after a right click. It's going to go out and find the diagnostics just for the actual CP itself, go to Security, go to Packet Filter Log, click on that. Now it's going to pull up another dialog box so we can actually go look and see what potential IP addresses are incorrectly trying to access the CPU. A little Start Read button here, click on that. It's going to go through and read through the files, and now I can see the incorrect IP address of this 105 that I was trying to use to access the actual CPU. Now that's engineering efficiency.